Alright guys, I'm gonna make the video, but I was very hesitant to make this video. The best current teams for the Xavier unlock. Why don't I want to make this video? There's a lot of reasons, we'll get into that, but why will I make this video anyway? Well, I've been asked by like 24 people to make the video. But you have to understand that this is no different than any other Dark Dimension that we've had in the past. Yes, the formula looks much more like a saga. I don't even know if we have to one-shot the nodes, which would change a lot. How's it going, guys? This actually just came across my desk as I was uploading this video to YouTube, so here's one for you. Envoy Anniversary is a new promo code as spelled on screen. That's ENVOYANNIVERSARY. I'll put a copy pasta in the comment section for you guys to make that a lot simpler for you. And that'll get you 300 power cores and 100,000 purple ISO. Good stuff. Loving what they're doing this month. They're giving lots of free stuff away. Alright, let's get back to this video that you should take with the biggest grain of salt. But you gotta be careful with your materials, okay? Like, 50% of the characters we're about to talk about here today, maybe they're gonna be replaced by the time you are entering Dark Dimension. So this is very important when you're collecting your Gear Tier 20 pieces. Never, ever half-equip Gear Tier 20 pieces, okay? Don't throw pieces on Old Man Logan because you're just like, for sure I have to bring Old Man Logan to Global Hero. There's no other character that I would rather bring. And then all of a sudden this like, Amazeballs Crucible team appears and all of them cost one Gear Tier 20 piece. That's not gonna happen. But just hypothetically, stay with me. Or cosmic characters like Null is gonna probably want to be there. But maybe not for people that are racing because they're only gonna have 4 yellow stars. There's a lot of moving parts to this. It all depends when you're about to enter a section. And you should never, ever, 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 ever equip one global hero character before you have all 5 to do and you're entering that section. There is no point in racing one section so that you can just sit and wait for the next one, right? And there's not advisable to build further down sections before previous sections because this last point, node rewards could 100% change the priority to build. Maybe I want to build up my Mephisto and my Odin before everybody else because I need them for arena, right? But I can't use them in the area sections. Well, part of me is like, you know what? It's going to take its time. I'm not worried about racing through Dark Dimension 9 or Professor X Saga. I'd rather just have the best arena characters right now. Well, there could be a world where the city sections are going to give me a bunch of Mystic Gear Tier 20. Like, you have to wait. We haven't seen the map yet. It's kind of crazy, right? How people are just rushing already. But I get it. It's exciting. It's fun. So let's just talk about it. Let's have some fun theory crafting. First thing, I also want to bring up, we don't know the gear cost of characters for Gear Tier 20 yet. These are normally static. Like, if Howard costs 3 Crimson 19s, then he would cost 3 Crimson mini-uniques to go here. But you see, like, it jumps from 18 straight to 20. Like, it's not even in the website yet. It's not in game yet, to my knowledge. Maybe that changes by the time this video goes up. But without knowing the cost, we also can't really jump into it. Without knowing if we need to one-shot the nodes, we can't really jump into it because that'll change who you bring because you're going to have to bring the best team as opposed to possibly the cheapest team with one, hyper carry character. Lots to think about. But let's have some fun anyway, okay? I'm just going to build a city team. I'm going to build a global hero team, a global villain team, cosmic hero, cosmic with Elandra, cosmic villain, and we'll go from there. So let's start with our city team. So who would I bring to city and why? The characters right now that I would be okay bringing is Oath and Blade. Literally, like, even Moon Knight, I wouldn't be super excited about taking because I don't know. And without knowing Null's kit, I don't know if these guys are going to make a rebound, right? I don't know if the symbiotes are going to be the best team in the game again when Null comes. Is it possible? Probably not. Probably not. But I don't know. Anyway, let's go ahead and just remove these symbiotes because I would not bring them unless Null does something fantastic with them. And I think Null's probably going to be standalone anyway. If I had to bring in 5 today, if I was ready to beat the entire mode today, I would definitely bring these 2. I would probably bring Goblin and Doc Ock. I'm always hopeful we're going to get a Sinister Six rework. Always. And if I'm being realistic, I know the Spider Society characters, they likely are not making it to the next raid tier. I just do not see that happening. And they're pretty good in War and Crucible with certain characters for sure, like Mephisto, right? But is Sinister Six just a better War and Crucible tool? Yeah, it is, right? And then finally, God, finally, I would bring in... I guess I'd bring in Moon Knight just because of the new stats, and I do use Night Stalkers, full Night Stalkers quite often. This doesn't feel great. This feels pretty horrible. I think we're going to get new skill characters, and all this goes to nothing, right? And then it's Blade Oath and whatever 3 new city characters we can bring in. But just like I talked about in the disclaimer, this could 100% change if, say, the node has to be one-shot, and Doc Ock can't keep everyone alive long enough to win, and we need to come in with Spider Society because they're ultimate sustain. Like, this is why it's really tough to make this video. But if I'm using what I would traditionally do for a Dark Dimension, it would be this. I would have Doc Ock as a healer here, trying to keep everyone alive. We have Insane Burst here. We have lots of ways to hit into this exposed with Night Stalker characters. Good damage, lots of control from Moon Knight, depending when he ults. Rewinds from the Goblin, rewinds from the Shocker that'll drop in. Seems like a very, very solid city team. And this is kind of the beauty of this Professor X saga, is that we're not limited like we were in Dark Dimension 8 to not bring in legendary characters. So that would be my go-to for city as of right now. Let's do Global Hero. I think Global Hero is the next one up. Let's go ahead and grab H is way sooner than the alphabet door key. This is such a stacked category. This is so stacked. Like I use Old Man Logan as an example for a reason. Like, I love Old Man Logan. I can't see a world where he wouldn't be awesome, especially if he wanted to one-shot a node. The way that he can snowball is just magnificent, right? It's insane. And this is where my brain starts to explode. We could get new Global Hero characters for sure. I immediately want to bring Nightcrawler because of that synergy with Old Man Logan, and because I love Nightcrawler as a plug-and-play character. I also want to bring in Storm, because I know that she can basically paralyze one wave and delete the next. And I really, really like that. I also want to bring in OG Falcon. Same reason. Captain Sam Falcon. Same reason. Like, these characters are great. I want to stay away from Black Knight here, I think. Though he has good sustain. He was really good in Dark Dimension 8. Sucked in Dark Dimension 7, though. I feel like he's going to get stat crept too hard here. And I'm not sure how good he would be on a boss situation. That's another thing we gotta think about. Oh god, that's another thing we gotta think about. We gotta think about the boss encounters at the end of all these sections. So if I go back to that city team, as long as I can rewind, I have good ad control, lots of AoE there. If there's summons, which I assume there will be with Nimrod, I think I'd be okay. But god, the sustain is a scary thought if you have to one-shot. Old Man Logan, I would lock Old Man Logan in. The Illuminati team, I'm not too high on that anymore. They're really good in Crucible still. They're whatever in War, and I think these newer characters with the newer stats will give more long-term benefit. Phoenix could be amazing because of her high damage. She will actually stay in her Phoenix form for quite a bit. Lots of X-Men synergy. Oh man, I kind of want to do like this crazy X-Men team where it's like Nightcrawler, Old Man Logan, Phoenix, Storm, and then I would bring Falcon in just because Falcon has this insane speed bar on a 3-turn cooldown. If I have 4 X-Men, then Nightcrawler is giving speed bar to those 4 automatically, and then also giving speed bar to Falcon, letting him get to his special very often, fueling that Storm. Oh, I like that team. I really like the team, but I can't justify... Can I not justify Phoenix? Looking at the other characters... She's got to heal. 2 heals when she dies, right? Captain Sam gives energy plus more speed. It's on a little bit of a longer cooldown. But between all the slows from Nightcrawler, Storm, Old Man Logan paralyzing people, Falcon giving speed, I could also do this. You could do double Falcon. Falcon Punch! Let's go! So much speed would happen on this team. So much energy flying over the place. Extra stuns from Nightcrawler. Faster Storm energy buildup. Falcon will be able to spam his stuff. I think that this team would probably be a little bit better. Because you would basically, you'd get so much speed. Old Man Logan would just start tearing through people. I love this team. I love this team. I think I would go Captain Sam or Phoenix here. I'm not sure which way I would land. Here's another thing I'll say. Dark Dimension 8, the best team I played with was Nightcrawler, Storm, and the 3-piece Illuminati. That surprised me. I actually one-shot the nodes, which is insanity, right? But we couldn't choose Old Man Logan there. Old Man Logan is a game changer. Yeah, you can't... I think Old Man Logan would do what those three losers did all by himself as far as impact. Hopefully we can get diamonds on Old Man Logan by that. You can't sleep on Old Man Logan. You just can't. There's so much slows and control here. There's additional speed here. This is amazing. There's healing and defense down. Retaliates here. There's so much damage and, like, she gives herself energy here. We got buff flips. Where else do I have buff flips here? Oh, I got buff flips from Old Man Logan's ultimate. I got buff removal from Nightcrawler ultimate here. I think we're good. I think we're good just on Old Man Logan alone. And he can make use out of the buffs. Oh, man, this is tough. Global Heroes packed. Here's what I would say. If it's continuous combat, I think this might be the best team there is. If it's not, and you prefer Crucible over War, then I think for sure Phoenix replaces Captain Sam here. You have to build up this guy for the Spotlight Raid anyway. He doesn't need to be geared to 20 by any stretch of the imagination. But he's an amazing plug-and-play character. So I kind of just like the old school Falcon. And he's faster than Captain Sam Falcon now, right? He's 123. This, I think, would be my global hero team. Kind of fanboyed out. Just the idea of playing with this team seems really fun. I almost just want to try it in a war fight now and see what they can do. It's a quick speed up. Quick slows, Old Man Logan quick stun, so much speed. That looks pretty dope, actually. All right, now let's go global villain. All right, global villano. Obviously, the first thing that jumps up at you is Orcus. Orcus is a great raid team. When you put them with Mephisto, they can definitely trip people up in War and Crucible. More Crucible now since like Mighty Avengers smashes that. Agatha's an amazing Night Stalker character. Her damage goes hard. Apocalypse, you can never sleep on Apocalypse in a Dark Dimension setting because when you lose a fight and go back in, he'll have his energy back. But we don't even know if you can do that. We don't know if you have to one-shot these nodes. But if you do have to one-shot these nodes, Apocalypse with his Falcon Punch, 60% damage to whoever the biggest threat is, as well as extra health and damage to the enemies. I can't see a world where Apocalypse doesn't make the cut here. Also, unlocking Professor X via Apocalypse, there's some poetry to that. Scientist Supreme and Lady Deathstrike, super low cooldowns. Super low cooldowns. There's lots of intrigue there. Lots of damage, low cooldowns, gives speed, debuffs galore, defense down, also from Lady Deathstrike, as well as huge bleeds. Nimrod, because he's such a monster. Sentinel for the ads. Sentinel's a big question mark, though. If you see a Super Skrull, maybe you don't want Sentinel at that point. Maybe you forfeit the extra speed stat to Nimrod, because if you're fueling somebody in this new Dark Dimension with speed bar, that'd be really bad, right? Other standout characters here, Omega Red, if you have him really well built, that'd be great. We know that Ghost is going to be getting a rework, and she's literally a Dark Dimension character. Ghost is literally a Dark Dimension character. She does so much in that mode. She does yo-yo in that mode, right? Where she puts offense down on everybody whenever it's their turn. Insanity. That's crazy. Yeah, when she gets reworked for the Thunderbolts, Ghost. Ghost could be the X Factor here that you almost need to have to beat the boss. That's insane when you think about that. The Cabal Bros, they go hard in Dark Dimensions, right? You switch Iron Patriot here to a Skirmisher, you get infinite assists, infinite vulnerables. You get a really, really nasty rewind. You get energy from the leader back to Namor, so you can just do it again. Like, this combo punch is insane. I just worry about their stats at this point. When I think about Dark Dimension 8, full Orcus or full Cabal, it's pretty even, but the margin of error is less for Orcus. And Cabal is kind of falling off in... Cabal's doing better in War than doing in Crucible. They're taking out Astral in War, but they're struggling to find their footing in Crucible, which is really awkward. So what would I do here if it's not Sentinel? So if it's not Sentinel, it might be Ghost, depending on her rework when that hits, when you're going into the mode. Or it could be Agatha. I don't think I would bring Omega Sentinel. Even though she gives the immunity on spawn, she just pings. If there's a lot of mutants, and it's Professor Xavier Saga, so there could be a lot of mutants, she'd be really good, actually. Really good. But I kind of dislike the power of Agatha. Agatha with her ultimate, with her ping damage, with her stuns and stuff like that. Really, really powerful character. I do believe that she can actually give herself energy back, right? If you use her special first and then you use the ultimate, can't she special again right away? Gain 2 ability energy for each mystic enemy, up to a maximum of 6. That's huge. So once again, we need to see the nodes, and if there's Jesus, if there's 3 Mystic characters and you just get 6 ability energy, you're gonna use ultimate quite a bit. So once again, that's another factor. Like, we need to know what's gonna be on these nodes. Super important. But her cooldowns are long. Let's pretend that there wasn't Mystics that we're gonna lean into. I think maybe Omega Sentinel actually gets the nod over Sentinel if there's a character like Skrull, otherwise Sentinel to fuel the Nimrod, and we go from there. This is the team I use in Dark Dimension 8. Currently, this is probably still the team I would go in with, depending on the characters. That makes sense. Alright, Cosmic Villain is going to be the easiest ever, and I actually don't think there's going to be much room for change on this one. We just got the Starjammers. I'm expecting some raid teams coming soon, simply because we're due for a raid. Shadow King is Cosmic? Really? Yeah, I guess we didn't see him. Yeah, we didn't see him in Global Village. Well, Shadow King's so good. Cracked character. But obviously, Mephisto makes this list here. Super Skrull makes this list here for me. Thanos Endgame makes this list for me because he's going to be fueling energy. And you know who the 5th is? It's Null. It's Null. I don't even care. I would bring Null up. I just want him at... By the time I'm entering it, I'm assuming I'm going to have, 6 or 7 yellow stars on Null, because it's going to be a long time. This is one of the last sections. And I'm going to have some red stars on him. I don't know where the red stars are coming from, but I assume they're not going to be stupidly gated. Now, when I look at the other characters, the other Annihilators, they're decent. They didn't perform well in Dark Dimension 8. I don't know why I would assume they would perform better here. Ultimus is a little bit more interesting because he does have ability blocks and defense down as basic, as well as a big punch rate, but nowhere near as interesting as these 4 guys. Dorman Kang, no, it's past that time, right? It's past that time for me anyway. Yeah, it'd be Null. Look, he's right here. He's just waiting in the shadows. It'd be Null. I'm not even going to put a stand-in because that's just stupid. It's going to be Null. Maybe we'll get other Cosmic Villains, though. You never know. All right. Cosmic Hero. Obviously, we have to bring in Lilandra. And after, going over her kit with a fine-tooth comb, I'm not mad at that. Her ultimate is insane. Hitting 3 times, vulnerables for days, removing vulnerables, just so good. And I think this section is probably going to be the hardest. Odin, no-brainer. Professor X, if he does some sort of mind control stuff, like we've seen in the leaked kit from Boilon, could Odin kill you? Doesn't Odin do less damage when he gets mind controlled, though? Maybe they put that in for a reason. I'm pretty sure he does. Let's go check that out real quick. I'm fairly certain he does. It's Astral does, I know. I think Odin does, too. 1/4 stack analysis character deals less damage to them. Yeah, okay. So that'd be good. I think it would be silly if they made a Cosmic Hero section and Odin countered you. That wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. All right. Cosmic Heroes. This is a bait, right? This is a bait to go high into Starjammers. Starjammers are just okay. And outside of Crucible, they're not okay. They are just, they're not loving life. So I think about which characters I would take in after that. This is actually a lot skimpier than I thought it would be. A lot. For sure, I would do Kahori. Again, we don't know the cost of anything, right? We do not know the cost of Gear Tier 20. But Doctor Strange is a really cheap Gear Tier 19 pick. He could transfer to be a really cheap Gear Tier 20 pick. And he's got heals, he's got buffs, he's got buff flips, he's got max percent damage. Doctor Strange would be really interesting here for sure. But also, by the time I get up there, I will definitely have Miss Marvel Classic farmed up. Having her be her tank self with the Kahori on the field seems like that would be a no-brainer too. Now it's tough. Now it's really tough. Medusa's just raw damage. I'm not sure I like that. We have insane heals from Moondragon, like insane heals. Another mind control from her is pretty cool. She can put slow out, turn me to rewind. The thing about it, Doctor Strange can't revive the Odin. And that's a big thing, right? That's a big thing. Invisible Woman, barrier like no other, stealth, retaliates. That's pretty clutch too. That's pretty damn clutch too. But I think it goes to Strange. I think it just goes to Strange. I do. The alternate theory here would be Vol. Vol was really good in Dark Dimension 8. You can't take that away from her. She's a Scopely original, so is Kestrel, so could we see reworks for them? I expect so, but if Vol was going to see a rework, I would have thought it to be with the Phoenix Force team, right? Because she is with the Phoenix Force. I don't think we're going to see another Asgardian team because we already have Odin, who's relatively new. You know, Bifrost was a raid team not too long ago. It's been a bit, but not too long ago. So, like, where does Vol tie in? She ties into Asgardians. She ties into the Phoenix Force. Both of those are kind of got hit last year. Kestrel, could we see a rework to Kestrel? Yeah, I mean, she's the it girl, right? She was the first. And she's sick. They should rework Kestrel every year. She's sick. They should also rework OG Spider-Man every year. I don't know. Maybe I'm just holding out for another Cosmic Hero. I'm going to see what Medusa does outside of the mode. I'll try to use Medusa in, like, Crucible to see how she performs when we get those diamonds on her. I know she hits stupid hard. But besides that, like, all her stuff is in War. And other than her fun passes for War, she just raw damage. Like, Piercing. It repeats. Cool. Piercing. Crit. Really cool. Does extra crit damage. Cool. Ignores defense up. Like, it hits hard. I get it. She hits really fucking hard. I get it. Ignores defense up. Extra crit. I get it. She hits hard. That's dope. The hair. She's got the hair flare. But then her freaking passive outside of War is enemies cannot spawn with evade or death proof. Which is great. But she doesn't have cannot spawn with defense up or speed up. Cannot spawn with charged. Cannot spawn with safeguard. Lower damage of all enemies. Lower resistance of all enemies. Gain speed. Absolutely first gain speed. Like, she's got a year one passive. She got a year one passive. I can't do it. I can't do it. Doctor Strange, he does so much cool stuff. He can revive other people not named Odin, which is dope, right? He adds heals and buffs to the Miss Marvel Classic over here, which is great. I guess Moondragon would too. I think she gives defense up and deflex. Big heals, rewinds. I think it'd be between Strange and Moondragon. But I lean towards Strange. And that's it, guys. These are the teams that I would bring in for the Professor Xavier sections. But also, like I said earlier, I wouldn't equip a single one of these characters yet. Definitely not until we see everything, right? Like, this is cool that we can know who we can build, but I would not build anything here. Even for the any section, because we don't need to put Gear 220 on anybody, just beat it with whatever your current roster has. Mephistos, Odins, whatever you want to do. When you do these nodes, though, in case the combat is continuous and cooldowns matter, make sure you go out of this node with all your cooldowns up. Don't fall for that trap, right? But without seeing the nodes, without knowing how the combat plays out, without knowing the rewards per nodes, without knowing the cost of characters, so many we don't know. All these videos that you're going to be seeing content creators put out over this week and maybe next week, take them with the biggest grain of salt. New characters, like, there's so much. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's kind of just a fun little exercise on what I would do in the moment. I'm sure there's going to be some people that when April 14th, is it April 14th they say? They say it here, I think, right? Shout out to Valley Flying. Arrives on March 17th. Oh, that's when that arrives. Okay. Did they not give the date? I thought I saw them give the date. Anyway, I'm pretty sure it's April 14th. I'm sure I read that somewhere. Tuesday, powerful minds prepare now. Yeah, April 14th. There it is. Jesus, I thought I was leaking. I thought I was gonna have to edit this video. Thank God. All right, cool. All right, guys, I'll leave you with that for now. Stay happy, stay healthy, have fun. If you get Gear Tier 20 from the end of this week's event leaderboard, hold on to it. Don't get antsy. It's Mystic Gear, so you're gonna be like, Mephisto, Odin. At least wait to see the rewards that you're gonna be getting from the Nimrod section and from the Gladiator section, because you might want to race all your city characters. Just food for thought. Mystic City characters, we can have those? Oh, right. Blade, Oath, name a few. Alright, guys, I'm being dumb. Have yourselves a good day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Like, share, subscribe, blah, blah, blah.